everyone, I am from Group 2. My group is consists of myself, Nur Izzah binti Idrus. My metric number is S61511. Atik Arfisha binti Roslan and Nur Suhaila binti Shahril. I want to deliver a report on one of the current issues. The current issues of natural disasters that we choose as a topic is flood. Disasters are serious disruptions to the functioning of a community that exceed its own resources. Disasters can be caused by natural, man-made, and technological hazards, as well as various factors that influence the exposure and vulnerability of a community. Flood is the one of natural disasters that always happen in our country and all around the world. The definition of flood is when water overflows from the normal boundaries of a stream, river, or accumulates in an area that usually dry. There are two main types of flood that often happens. The main type of flood is inundation flood, slow flood, which takes time about hours or day, while flash flood occurs suddenly without any warning due to heavy rain. There are a few causes of flood. Floods can happen due to massive rainfall at a certain area. Massive rainfall can cause the drainage system from functioning properly. Furthermore, deforestation also can be a cause the flood to happen. This is because these activities cause the unable to absorb the rainfall, and this accelerates the flood. Therefore, overflowing of the rivers can cause flooding and huge damage. When soil erosion occurs in the riverbank, the eroded soil will fall from the riverbank and to go through will go to the river flood. If this happens continuously, the river flood level will increase. The water overflow is easy to occur in eroded river areas can cause flooding. The drainage system is very important. The drainage system works as to drain the water as well. A good drainage system must be able to accommodate the amount of water received. The drainage system needs to be well designed and well maintained so that the garbage does not blocking a waterway. The deforestation activities should carry out the selective tree felling. This is because to prevent uncontrolled deforestation. This phenomenon of flood will give effect to people or a community that involved in flood area. Flood can damage their property. As soon as the flood situation becomes critical, a rapid assessment of the latest situation should be made to confirm immediate needs and updates provided as the situation unfolds. There are NGOs to help flood victims. Mercy Malaysia is the one of NGO's team in Malaysia. I want to share the facts of floods in Malaysia. The floods is often occurs in east coast of Malaysia at the end of the year that causing many victims to be involved.
My name is Nur Suhaila binti Shahril, X61666. I'm going to talk about the effect of the flood. The primary effect of flooding include loss of life and damage to buildings and other structures, including bridge, sewerage system, roadways, and canals. Floods also frequently damage power and transmission and sometimes power generation, which then has a knock-on effect caused by the loss of power. This include loss of drinking water treatment and water supply, which may result in loss of drinking water or severe water contamination. It may also cause the loss of sewage disposal facilities. Lack of clean water combined with human sewage in the flood water raises the risk of waterborne disease, which can include typhoid, and many other diseases depend on the location of the floods. Economic hardship due to a temporary decline in tourism, rebuilding costs, or food shortage leading to price increase in a common after effect of severe flooding. The impact on those affected may cause physiological damage to those affected, in particular where death, serious injuries, and loss of properties occur. Urban flooding can cause chronically wet houses, leading to the growth of indoor mold and resulting in adverse health effects, particularly respiratory system. Urban flooding also has significant economic implications for affected neighborhoods. Floods can also be a huge destructive power when water flows. It has the ability to demolish all kinds of building and objects, such as bridge, structure, houses, trees, and cars.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Ati Afrisha binti Roslan. Metric number S62817. Today, I take part in what is solutions natural disaster flood can do. First, I want to say some methods that can be dealing with natural disaster such as floods are to provide a drainage system where the drains that have been shallow as a result of sewage material should always be cleaned periodically. Which this overflow water and rainwater can be drained well in area that is impermeable to water. In addition, method which preserves forest. This is said because forest conservation is a good way to deal with flood, where the forest can be used a catchment area that is able to absorb rainwater from continue to flow directly to the earth. Therefore, logging and exploration activity in the riverside area must be limited so that its soil does not erode and collapse. Where the environmental department can impose fine and penalty on offender who damage forest sustainability. Next, flood warning should also be provided. This flood warning system can be installed in place or areas that have been potential to be hit by floods, where the alarm device will issue a signal when the water level approach the set index. With the warning systems in place, residents can take immediate action to save themselves, property, and important documents. This is because flood can threaten human life in addition to damaging property and destroying other important documents. In addition, flood can be overcome by controlling human activity, where the mass media needs to play a role by revealing awareness of environmental care to community by holding a campaign to love the river and so on. That's negative activities such as throwing garbage and industrial waste directly into the river or ditch can be avoid from continuing to occur. This is said because garbage and industrial waste dumped in the river and ditch will accumulate and clog the drainage of rainwater from the occurrence of flash floods, landslide, and so on. River deepening project can also be done to overcome the problem of flood. Most of the flood past the river was able to flow a large amount of water at time. Now, the flow has decreased. This is due to the process of deposition and disposal of waste material. Therefore, the step to deal with the flood problem is to carry out the process of deepening the river and dragging all the mud and impurities found in the river. When this process done, the river not only become deep but is able to drain large amount of rainwater. Finally, planting tree or plant around the house can prevent flood from happening. For example, planting tree or other plants in the environments around the house, because in the environment around the house it's help prevent flood in a small scale. Planting crop is important. Roots can grab the soil from soil. Erosion occur as well as root planted. The interval can drain rainwater from the sky to enter the soil and store as groundwater reserve. That is only solution that I came up with about the measure that can overcome natural disaster of floods.
So, as a conclusion, flood actually is the overflow of water through any body like ponds, river, lakes, streams, and another else. It is harmful as well as beneficial effects. Harmful effects such as loss of property, death of animals and humans. Whereas beneficial effects are groundwater recharge, fertile, and so many others. Well, floods have claimed so many lives in the last few years, but we have to live with it because it is part of a nature cycle. The only thing we can do is to stay clear of the flood if it occurs and always be ready for it. That's all.